Usually when I see a player out on the field with a name like this, think of a guy like Albert O for the Broncos, my brain skips a beat and I get nervous for the day I'll ever have to talk about them in a video. So they really have to do something special for me to take the risk of publicly embarrassing myself. But we've come to a crossroads here because it's time for everybody to learn the name Talanoa Hufanga. Because this second-year, fifth-round safety out of USC has been incredible for the 49ers this season. Not only does he play the same position and have the same luscious locks of Troy Polamalu, but he actually got the privilege to train with him this offseason, and it's showing. He leads the team in solo tackles and has impacted the game in big-time ways all over the field on the defensive side of the ball. So even though we don't have a guy who has a name that's easy for us to say, like Jim Brown, it's time we learn, put some respect, and get used to saying the name Talanoa Hufanga. But let's get in some film to show you why. And I'll preface this with something, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I've never said this before. This might have been my favorite and the most fun I've ever had watching and studying film on a player. And I don't say this lightly, his game is electric to watch, and I really hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. So let's get into it. And one of the really cool things about TH's game is he plays all over the field. He'll play in one high and two high. He's often in the box or playing a robber, and he also has a lot of success at the line of scrimmage. But we have to look at every aspect of his game, and the thing he's probably asked to do the least, but also might be the weakest part of his game, is in coverage, but we still need to cover it. And if you want to be a premier safety in the league, you have to be able to be super flexible. So sometimes you are going to be at the top of your screen and allow the 49ers to send pressure. And we have a very underrated, very speedy veteran receiver in Tyler Lockett. So Geno Smith at quarterback knows right now, if this pressure comes, he is going to go here targeting this matchup 10 times out of 10. But even though Lockett has the clear speed advantage here on this play, his instincts and knowing what he might want to do allows him to undercut this route in man coverage to get the tipped pass and get the interception for his team. So pre-snap, Geno Smith licking his chops, and it really becomes a one-read play if this pressure comes. Even though TH only ran a 4.61 coming into the NFL draft and Tyler Lockett's a speedster, he knows that with this route combination, they're sending pressure. Geno Smith is likely going to have to get the ball out fast. He's able to see what route Tyler Lockett's going to run, but be able to undercut it, get his hands on the ball, and get the tipped interception. Just one part of his game that he adds to this 49ers defense. And one of the things you get trained with Troy Polamalu is you have to be very instinctual and have the quarterback guessing at all times. So when he lines up right here, this is a major threat, and we're going to understand why as we continue on in this video. But this is all just smoke and mirrors. It's the disguise. He's going to drop back and rob the middle of the field, just making life as difficult on Justin Fields as possible. Read his eyes, get into the passing lane, and come away with another interception. So as he sees the play clock winding down and the quarterback and offensive line has already made all their adjustments, accounting for him to come on the blitz like he's shot out of a cannon, he's able to drop off, be able to read the eyes, hop in the passing lanes, and make a huge play like this. So having the diversity at the position cannot be stated enough at how important it is. But he doesn't take his limitations of speed and use it as a crutch to know that even though he has a deep quarter of the field, when he sees there isn't a deeper threat, he uses instincts, has no hesitation, is able to come up and break up a pass. And this time he's going to be lined up as a weak side linebacker, but we're going to see some of the same traits he uses in the run game to be effective in the passing game as well. So his responsibilities in this coverage is the flat, so when he sees the fullback come out of the flats, he knows he has to respect this, and he also can't fall for a pump fake. But the entire time he's reading screen, and as soon as the ball gets released out of Justin Fields' hands, he gets shot out of a cannon, no hesitation, able to avoid the block and make a tackle for loss. And I hate to say with that out of the way, but with that out of the way, let's get into the really exciting stuff of why I love him so much as a prospect as a safety. Because his instincts in the passing game pale in comparison to his instincts in the running game. So as he's going to play this linebacker position for the field side, the Bears are going to run a crack toss sweep to the play side, and this wide receiver is going to try and crack block the play side linebacker, which is Talanoa. But the reoccurring theme every single time I watch the play is his immediate instincts in being able to read the run like a linebacker and his open field tackling, which leads to seeing plays like this over and over on the film. So not only does he have passing responsibility and is able to read run so fast, he's able to beat this angle that the wide receiver tries to take, get the running back in the backfield, and make a beautiful open field tackle. And he obviously has a long way to go to beat Troy Polamalu, but you can definitely tell he trained with him. He is the vocal leader for the secondary on this team. And over as the offense makes adjustments, he's the one communicating. He's the one getting in the right position. He has the instincts to get downhill, beat these blocks, and get in the backfield time and time again, leading the team in tackles for losses. So as the Bears are in a 2 tight end formation, a very run-heavy team, and then a very run-heavy set, the 49ers look like they have 3 linebackers, but they also have a pseudo 4th linebacker on the field that might just be better than all of them outside of Fred Warner. And just like how the Seahawks tried to get Hufanga in a compromised situation in the passing game, the Bears try and do the exact same thing in the running game. As they motion this receiver across the field, this is going to cause both linebackers to bump down, which is going to get Hufanga in the middle of the field, and now he's going to be the Mike linebacker. So just as how they tried to exploit him in the passing game, getting him up on a speedy receiver, they want to get him in the middle of the field to be in the teeth of the run defense and have an undersized safety in the middle of the field. But just like in the passing game, it doesn't work out like you'd think. He gets in there, he's physical, he fills the holes, and he is there to stop the run. And he does it from his deep safety position too. Khalil Herbert, who's having an amazing season, he's able to make these great open field tackles, probably saving a touchdown on this play. And often he's going to be a big part of the run and passing game when they line him up all over the field. And this is why he just stands out so much, because as a hybrid safety, you're usually just okay in both aspects, but he can be a safety like a coverage safety plays it, and he can also be a linebacker safety like a linebacker would play it. And if he was wearing the number 57, you wouldn't know a difference. Just watch how he plays this as he just bumps down and he's shuffling, he's working, he's scraping down the field, reading the holes, but also getting down the field. He doesn't commit too soon. He wants to make sure David Montgomery doesn't bounce it outside. But as soon as he sees David Montgomery commit, he doesn't want 76 to be able to get to the second level to create a massive hole. So he's just going to pile up, throw his body into space. And whether this seems like a big deal or not, the difference for him playing it like a linebacker and not a timid corner, for him to scrape down, make sure he's not bouncing it out, being aggressive and then just throwing his body in there to clog up the hole, whereas otherwise this might have been a gaping hole for a huge run, is things that on the field live in game might go unnoticed, but on this channel is definitely not being overlooked. And this is something Polamalu did so well. Even though he was undersized, he was aggressive, he had great instincts. Look at how he's communicating, getting into the right coverage, playing it like a linebacker, finding the hole, and just absolutely stuffing it. And now he's at the bottom of your screen as the left outside linebacker, just clogging, pinning down the play side receiver, allowing to free up the linebacker. Because obviously stats are cool and everything, but as he's just going to pile drive his body in here, he takes away 2 blockers on this play, allowing this linebacker to be 100% free. So he's not always looking to be the hero on the play, but since he can take out 2-3 people so the line can't get to the second level, that allows 2 linebackers for the 49ers to be completely free, which allows them to get a really nice stop for no gain. But now let's look at some plays where he might be at his best when he's on the line of scrimmage. And if there was ever a play where you know who Hufanga was, it would be in this primetime game where you'd say, hey, who's this Polynesian with 2 twin turbojet engines strapped to his feet? And this was obviously the biggest play that a lot of people talk about, but seeing the earlier film, seeing that how there's just so much instincts, no hesitation, it allows for plays like this to absolutely blow up the play in the backfield. And he has one of the coolest celebrations, top 5. He's Polynesian, as I mentioned, and if I pronounce this wrong, it's a Tongan-inspired celebration, and I would expect to see a lot more of it if he keeps playing the way he does. And this 49ers defense has been incredible all season long, but he very well might be the MVP of this defense through the first part of the season. We know what Nick Bosa is going to do. We know Fred Warner is going to be running sideline to sideline, but this guy, we have no idea. Any given play, he could drop back in coverage and make a great read, or he could come firing off a blitz and make mayhem in the backfield. Like this play here where he got a tackle for loss against Seahawks. And even if you try and run away from him and think you can leave him unblocked because he's so far out of the play, that's just not going to happen. Seattle tried to do this multiple times and just to no success. If you leave him unblocked, and he's going to be able to come scrape down the line of scrimmage and still be able to make plays in the backfield. And if you're just stat watching this guy, it's going to be impressive, but I highly recommend the next 49ers game as soon as tonight. Just watch him every single play, because what he does doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. He's just been a treat to watch, and it seems almost every single play he's making an impact, disrupting the play in some type of way. So whether you've never heard of him, if you've seen one highlight of his, or if you're a 49ers fan and you've known about him since he was drafted last year, get used to seeing his name. And if you're like me, practice saying it over and over in the mirror to yourself to learn the pronunciation. And maybe I still even have it wrong. Who knows? But I really hope you enjoyed this. This film took forever to go through because I couldn't stop watching every play he was in over and over. I highly recommend watching wherever he lines up pre-snap and just follow him throughout the play next time you watch the Niners play, and I know you won't be disappointed. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think about his game. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily NFL content. Thank you all so much for watching and checking out the channel. And if you're new here, highly recommend subscribing. We're making content all year long. That's all I have for you today. But as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace!